Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a Catskill Classic. This is the light Hendrickson. The hook I have in the vise is a standard dry fly hook. This is a size 14. I'm going to use a gray thread, and this is 70 denier. I'm going to start the thread behind the eye, and we're going to take it back halfway, and then we're going to come back half of that. The Hendrickson is one of the first hatches that happen, and it's usually a pretty good hatch here in the go nuts on them for it in the Delaware River. I'm going to start with the wing, and the wing is wood duck flank, and I cut the tip out of it, and I'm going to tie that in, and this will help to divide the wing. Going to measure them up. We want that wing to be about the length of the hook shank. We're going to tie that in. Secure that going towards the rear. I'm going to cut the excess off at an angle, and that will help us to get a taper on the body. We're going to bring this back and we bring our thread back to where it would hang at the barb. Now for our tail, I'm going to use a blue dun hackle. And I'm going to take those long, stiff fibers. Just going to grab a bunch and pull them all together, and then pull them all off at once. And you can see they're not. You can see they're not even on this side, but they will be lined up at the tips. Going to take that, and I'm going to measure that, and we want that tail to be about the length of the hook shank also. I'm going to go ahead and trim off that soft stuff there. We're going to tie that in. Put a light wrap on there, and then tighten it in. A nice straight tail on the top. Going to go ahead and put a wrap underneath the tail. Now I'm going to bring the thread up, and I'm going to divide the wings and stand them up. Gonna just lift the wing up, and wrap in front of it. Oop, got a couple fibers there. And this is going to stand that wing up just like that. Pull them back together there. I'm going to help, I'm going to divide the wings. I'm going to just grab half and half, and it's pretty easy because we had that V in there, so they're already naturally divided. Oh, got a couple back that way. We got them divided. Now you can see there's a few fibers there. I'm going to hold that wing, and I'm going to put a wrap of thread around that wing. And I'm going to do the same with this side. Oop. Let me grab that. There we go. I have one fiber sticking forward. I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. Now for the body of the light Hendrickson, you can see on here, you can see this is urine stain. It's like almost a pink color. This is a red fox, and this is urine stained hair there. You can pick it out if you want, or you can take your comb and just comb that, and here we have our dubbing. There's a couple of long hairs in there, but I'm going to take it out. I'm going to work it in my fingers here a little bit, back and forth. And that will get that dubbing just right. I'm going to turn my vise over just so I have room to dub. I'm going to take just a small amount of this. Remember, it's always better to add than it is to take off, especially with natural hair, because the fibers tend to be long. They really get trapped in there. Take just a little bit more. This gives it that nice pinkish tint that the female Hendricksons have. Light Hendrickson. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. I'm going to move to the back first. I'm going to put a wrap underneath the tail, and then we're going to move that forward. We're going to come up, and I want to leave just a little bit of space behind the wing. Now for the hackle, I have a blue dun hackle, and I have it sized up for the size 14, and you can see here I gave it that haircut. There you can see it better against my background, and that is going to give the threads something to hold on to. I'm going to place that hackle right between the wings, and I'm going to leave a little bit of that crew cut exposed. So that crew cut part, we want that to go halfway around or a quarter of the way around the hook shank before the barbels start to hit that 90 degree. I'm going to take a soft wrap to get it down, and then we're going to secure that with a couple of tight wraps, so that way we don't push the far wing when we start to wrap. Move to the front, hold the wing out of the way, and we're going to wrap that in, and I'm going to build this front up there just a little bit, and this is going to give us a more even amount where it's thicker. We don't want it thinner in the front because it will make a step. I'm going to take my hackle pliers and put them on there, and we're going to wrap the hackle. And now, because we left that little bit of that crew cut exposed, our first wrap is not going to have the hackle barbels shooting towards the rear. And I can see I got one little fiber from the wing caught in there. Just going to go ahead and trim that off. See, now the first wrap, our hackle is standing at a 90 degree the way we want it. We're going to get 2 wraps in back. Push that wing a little bit out of the way. And now I'm at the wing. I'm going to hold the wing back, and I'm going to rub that hackle against the wing. And this is going to prevent us from having a hole in our hackle because of the wing. And I'm going to wrap a couple more wraps right there. I'm going to try to get one more out of here and hope it doesn't come loose on me. There we go. We're going to tie that off. I'm going to hold everything back. I'm going to tie the head. I got one fiber sticking out the front there. I'll just trim that off. I'm going to go ahead and grab that hackle. And that one was kind enough to let me just break it off. There, I got that fiber back. Now we're going to take our whip finish. Three turns is plenty. Tighten that up. Be careful, you don't want to break that. And then we're going to trim that thread. Take our head cement. Clean that brush off pretty well. Go ahead and hit it with head cement all the way around. And here we have the Catskill Classic, the light Hendrickson. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.